seeing inside his eyes got like really tired, but he did get surgery for it. And as far as I'm aware, things got better for him after that. He seems to be okay. Just taking a loss a bit tough. Definitely something going on with him though.
YongHwa has picked the map Frost. I got to say, by the way, Super with a fantastic late game there. But again, most of that was Army comp and the engagement. I mean, you know, the Archons were not in a great spot for YongHwa. It's a bit brutal how a lot of these matchups can end just because of the curve there of the armies when they engage.
Yeah. You really need to have a good concave. You need to have the Archons doing damage. You don't want that many Zealots.
All right, guys, it's time to go into the second matchup between these two to see who's going to go on to the winner's match to face off against Paralyzed here at GOMEXP. And in the upper left, in the red, losing that last game, his ID is
YongHwa.
On the team Incredible Miracle.
unlike average Miracle.
No. This is not just your standard
Not
miracle.
just your everyday Miracle.
Down here, or up here, the top right. Blue.
Super.
Blue.
Got him out. Got him
It
out
sounded
there.
like you got pulled underwater there at the very end.
This guy was, for so long, not given the praise he deserved, and now I feel like he's finally starting to earn the respect of people based on what he's done in Pro League, his GSTL results at the end of GSTL, and now wants to go into Code S again. He used to be known as Vampire. You guys remember that from the old days. Yeah, that was very Sesame Street-esque of you, Tasteless.
No, it wasn't. Sesame Street-esque would have been like, two Protoss.
Oh, the way you made that noise just reminded me of like Ernie like laughing or something.
Does Ernie laugh like that? You know, if I had to be a
Something like
Sesame
that.
Street character with Artosis, we'd be Bert and Ernie for sure.
Yeah.
I don't even have to tell you which one we'd be. It's just so obvious.
Yeah, I don't know which character I'd be, to be honest.
You would be one of the kids. You wouldn't be a Muppet. You'd just be a kid guest on Sesame Street.
Okay. I've heard people say I was Snuffleupagus. I only the rapping part. maybe.
Snuffleupagus? No, you're not. Let me think about this. I can get you a Muppet.
Definitely not Grover.
Actually, you could pass as a Grover.
In like middle school when I was going through like my puberty and
You
stuff.
might
and
actually be Grover.
I
You
was
know
the
what?
Grouch.
You were the Grouch?
Yeah, that was me, man. I was like complaining about everything.
Actually, I think you're Grover. I think I've. No, wait. Not Grover.
the
You, Wolf, are Gonzo.
Oh yeah.
You're Gonzo for sure. I was getting it mixed up. Wolf's Gonzo.
Okay. I like Gonzo actually.
Yeah, you should be fine with Gonzo. Well, accept who you are, Wolf. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't change that.
Yeah, Tyrion once
That's
said
what
that,
Tyrion said that to Jon Snow.
Yeah. Wear it like
Wear
armor.
it like armor, Gonzo.
Yeah. Well, we have a second gate for Super and a Twilight Council for YongHwa. DT's fallen out of popularity so much in this matchup, I expect it will be simply.
it's going to be a kind of a pendulum in the meta. When it's there, when it's not there.
I feel like part of the reason why DT's fell out quite a bit too is because if you skip the robo for any reason, most people have a sentry, and people just got so good at like seeing an invisible DT and forcing it out, even if you don't have detection, that you just eventually buy enough time and get that detection
Yeah,
out.
well, if you look at the way the game's timed out, I mean, you can actually get it down to like, you know, a 2-second window of when they're going to get there with those DTs.
Yeah. That's where we're at right now. He's actually doing it. That's pretty desperate when you're down a game.
This is crazy.
That almost like scared me a little bit, Tasteless.
Hey, man. Scary
I
guy.
didn't expect that voice out of you, dude.
Hey, man. It's one of the many voices of Tasteless. So we have the Mothership Core coming over here. This might just work against Super. I mean, we're still waiting for detection to get here.
Yeah.
But
I would say... Okay, he's going to see it, though.
He's got to look. Look!
I think he's going to see it because he's going to fly over then recall. If he doesn't look, that's embarrassing.
Oh, my God.
That's
Are
like,
you kidding me? No, get. Oh, I thought that was his mothership. I was like, get
That's
back
actually
over there.
like really...
Wait, he's got a stalker though in his base. He's got a stalker. We're not going to see it, but there was a stalker in the base. I think he chased it out.
That's like so sloppy, I feel.
Well, what's funny about it is it can recall, man. I mean, like, wait.
Scary part is if you go in there.
I can't believe he didn't go in there. I mean, like I said, you can recall. You just go back home.
If you go in there and then you recall, but it's like if you go in there and see that's like a fast blink play, then you're like, now I don't have energy for for my overcharge and I just lose.
That's,
I just saw that I'm
true
gonna
too.
lose.
You make a very good point, Wolf. I'm just.
But that's like something that gets there. But he's playing this so safe. Look,
Well,
he
it
even
looks
has
like
this
he's
ready.
actually comfortable that this might be that rush. I mean, he's made the wall in, or not the wall in, you know, the choke a little bit tighter. Spotted the pylon.
Yeah, he's wise.
Right
He's
there.
going to hold position these stalkers, and then, well, actually, just use a
Oh,
pylon
so
wall.
sick. Pylon wall.
The observer's on the way. So he needs to just play Ring Around the Rosie with these probes for a second.
Oh my God, so nice. This is obsolete, son. This is like Pager's obsolete.
By the way, he's got his own counter Dark Shrine.
Yeah, I like that.
Well,
Well,
obsolete than printers, man.
Are printers actually obsolete?
I would say so. When was the last time you used a printer, man?
When I had to print something out on a piece of paper.
When was that? Like, for me, that's been like, I think like over...
I would not say printers are obsolete. Let's see what's obsolete. Zip drives are obsolete.
They're obsolete for me, I guess. But yeah, zip drives are obsolete.
What else is obsolete? Well, pagers. That was a good one by me. Pagers.
Flip phones.
Yeah, well, flip phones are. I would not. Yeah, I mean they're pretty obsolete, I guess. Now that we have smartphones, I would say.
Like spaghetti? No, we don't need that anymore. Oh wow,
Oh,
he
nice.
actually squeezes through, and now he's just gonna target the sentry down. Goodbye.
See you in Sentry Hell. And he's gonna do the second Sentry.
Yeah, he should be able to.
Yeah, he does. Those
That
things
makes
die
the
pretty
cost
fast.
worth it, actually.
Oh my God.
This DT is so detected. There are two observers looking at him.
Yeah. You can see into that DT's soul.
Yeah. You can see that DT's like embarrassing memories.
Yeah. This is it's an obsolete build, man.
Yeah.
Xbox One obsolete. There you go.
Yeah, like Dreamcast obsolete, man.
The Dreamcast is not obsolete.
I
It's
knew
a
you were gonna
great
get
system.
upset.
It's a great system, and it shouldn't have gone down the way it did, Wolf. Apology accepted.
Was that system like Nomad?
Sega Nomad was a great system. Portable Sega Genesis. A lot of people don't know it. Let's say, what's an obsolete system? What's an obsolete system? Well, I mean, because there's some ones.
All the old ones in YongHwa that like play pirated NES games.
You know that you can actually get online. People will make consoles that just play old games.
Yeah. I think I was telling you about this. Like, you can get like a portable GameCube.
Maybe it was
like,
actually you that told me this.
it looks like a Game Boy Advance, but like plays Game Boy.
Or maybe I read about this on
GameCube
Kotaku,
games.
but yeah, it's like there's a whole niche market for people that just like want to actually.
Yeah, they'll
still run their old
specialize
games.
it for you, like for like $300, $400. You know,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. This is pretty smart. I like this because observers can only be in so many places at once. That's weird. Okay, well, wow, he's distracting him.
Oh, sneakery.
If he force fields here, he's gonna regret it. And he's just like,
God, the mothership core shoots a long distance.
yeah. Is he just like trying to do this to pick off stalkers?
I think he's just trying to keep them busy. I mean, even if you go over there, you take out a few probes. 2 base versus 2 base, that can give you a pretty good lead. Even if the probes only 1 or 2 are killed and they run for it, that's a lot of minerals that are just lost over that course of time.
True.
Taste Fuchsia's here.
Yeah.
Tasteless the wise.
Tasteless the wise.
Yeah. I'm here, Wolf.
Sage tasteless.
Sage tasteless, yeah. YongHwa is not out of this yet. He is continuing to crank out Immortals and a good number of Stalkers. Right now, Super does have the initiative here. He's got great observers in control of everything that's going on the map. And he does still have the Warp Prism out. So let's say YongHwa does get a little bit testy and try. Oh my God! Well, never mind. YongHwa's in great shape now.
Yeah.
That had 2 Immortals in it.
That was expensive. Well, I don't know how much damage he's really going to commit to there, but as long as he doesn't lose any stalkers, any damage he does is worth it. And the +1 gets done faster here for Super, but without those 2 Immortals, everything feels just like so painful for him right now. That's super expensive. No pun intended.
Wow, wow. Well, now YongHwa is in control of this game since that Warp Prism was shut down. I mean, it really goes to show you what a big deal losing, those critical units like that are. It really puts you in a bad spot. YongHwa may just try to blink in and out of here. Okay, he's going to go for the Immortal. Definitely don't lose that Immortal.
Yeah, don't lose any stalkers for it either. Both players actually trading a few hit points.
+2 now coming up here for Super. So he does have that upgrade lead. +1, not far behind here for YongHwa, but for, you know, the current way we could see the future coming out here, he's definitely in good shape. Nice job getting the sentry. You know what? YongHwa is definitely pulling this game around. And considering this was a game that had a very rough start for YongHwa, I got to say I'm pretty impressed.
I was pretty impressed as well with Super actually able to snipe that little stalker in the back. Now, the second robotics has been added for YongHwa, so he's going to double Robo Colossi from here. And is also looking like he wants to deny a third Nexus for a little bit. That's going to be probably another Stalker kill. Nice blink to chase.
And let's see how effective the double Colossi are going to be here for YongHwa. Mind you, he did kill off those 2 Immortals, so the Immortal count is already pretty down low. And Super is going into his own Colossi. So, I mean, in a Colossi versus Colossi fight, you would assume that YongHwa could win. But don't forget about the last game we saw. It was really all about the positioning of the armies.
Yeah, I think losing those 2 Immortals makes the decision to go double Colossus production a little bit more appealing. Because Immortals, if they can get in range of the Colossi, will just trash them in a fight. It's not even funny, because the Colossi just can't do that much damage to those big armored Immortals, and the Immortals just do insane amounts of damage to anything that has armor, and that includes Colossi. So if you get them in there, really got to be careful about that as the Colossus player. Unnecessary blink there, but he made sure that DT was dead.
The third base is almost done here for Super. Really, we're going to have to see how the timing works out here for YongHwa. YongHwa's taking a third of his own while still pumping out double Colossi. Thermal Lance is just now finishing up here for YongHwa. But also the second robotics facility here for Super is on the way. So this game may stabilize after all. Is YongHwa going to push here? It looks like he's moving out.
He's got a big advantage.
He could meet Super right here in the middle of the map.
Super is playing like poker face in it right now. Is it putting all his units on the watchtower like he has no fear about what's coming his way, even though he knows he's behind?
Because YongHwa has a much harder time figuring out what's actually going on. Now let's see if these DTs get in here. Is the cannon done? The cannon is going to just barely get done depending on how they target it. And it does finish, but not long enough to actually do any real damage.
Yep, he's going to have to send an observer over there. See how much mining time gets lost here. Goes to the pylon.
Probably the best he can actually get there.
Yeah, these DTs basically are here to delay mining.
It is 4 Colossi to Super's 3. YongHwa in the lead.
Come over here and maybe save this pylon. Not quite. In a matchup like this, the defender's advantage works really well. So much so that sometimes a player who's significantly down in supply, like the 25, 27 supply down for Super, may actually just be caught up over time. The longer it takes him to do it. The longer it takes YongHwa to capitalize on his advantages, the more chances he has, I should say, to come back with that. Now this drop could be used to distract the main army when he goes in for the kill at the third base. Anything he sends into the main base will not be there for the main fight. Look at that, 5 gates going up. YongHwa is ready for the killing blow here. He's going for it.
Yeah, let's see how effective this is now. He's dumping the DTs, 4 of them
DTs,
into the main. He might not even have to warp in more here, but he's going to go for it anyways and take out the main Nexus.
Yeah, even some Zealots coming down here. He's definitely going to get the Nexus, but he doesn't decide to actually try to fight with his army during this. I think he decides that killing the Nexus alone is enough, but it does. Is that going to be?
Yeah, he's going to get it. He's going to get it for sure.
All right, now he goes in. Third base is fair game here. Trying to engage, but the concave is too good.
Recalls and yep, the smart move there to recall out. One DT still here, able to dish out a lot more damage. The Observer is up there into the main. But again, right now, Super down 1 Nexus. Now, that doesn't matter for making probes as much as it does for just having the Chrono boost there, which will matter a lot when they get into those endgame fights where they're just, trading armies. One guy can remake a little bit faster.
Oh, wow. He gets the Bay as well. I mean, this is all the Colossus we're ever going to see from Super for the rest of this game. He's about to have +3. He's going to have that advantage over his opponent. Those 2 Colossi coming out are not ready yet, and he does not have enough to actually win this fight right now.
Yeah, in fact, I think he might be in a lot of trouble here. The way the Colossi are spread out, and then the fact that there's enough Immortals. But let's see how it actually goes down. And I think there's just a little bit too much meat up in the front there for YongHwa. So YongHwa's Colossi can actually do a good amount of damage to the retreating Colossi of Super. I think we might be going into game number 3 here.
I think you're right. Another Colossus does pop out, but it's a bit too late. He's going to have that +3 advantage, but like you said, that meat, that tankiness at the front is exactly why he's going to win this. And another robotics will fall here. Losing the Bay, losing this robotics, and we'll probably lose the second robotics as well. It's being targeted right now. There's no answer back at home. And now we could just lift out. This little 4 DT drop is so annoying to deal with. So much burst damage actually on those DTs. Double Robo being remade right now. Super actually has a lot of bank despite losing that main Nexus. He's just not able to spend it for some reason. I mean, losing those robotics actually is obviously a main contributor to this because that's where he wants to spend most of his money right now.
Well, just barely killing off those DTs. Well, you know, YongHwa didn't pursue, so YongHwa's now going to keep teching up here onto, the 3 bases he has, getting the Templar Archives here. Now, Super is, in this sense, one step ahead. He already has Templars out. He's making Archons, and that's going to be pretty important there, especially when the Zealots are engaging on the other side. The Archons can just melt them very easily. The 4th base for both players is now being taken here. But note, in very different locations. We have Supers farther out into the bottom right. That's going to make it a problem for DTs. The location in the upper left can be attacked fairly effectively and also cut off from the other base if Super engages correctly there.
Yeah. Looking at just unit counts, because I think this is really important going into big fights. YongHwa has the much better Archon count this time, and they've both kind of reached the point where Colossi become obsolete the more you add because they can't all fire, they end up bumping into each other, not doing their maximum damage, so you want to start adding more Immortals in. And they're both pretty similar at that count right now, 2-to-1. One Immortal lead for Super. They're both using both robotics to produce these. And I don't know what's going on over here, just a little bit of DT harass, looks like.
Yeah, there's been a lot of great usage of DTs this game. Their Nexuses are both about to finish. Well, one already did, excuse me. And Super immediately had transferred probes over to that location. They're both about to max out. Super a little bit further behind here. Again, the positioning here is so key. Can the Immortals get up there and hit the opposing Colossi? Are the Zealots spread out enough? Are the Archons in the right spot there to kill off the other Zealots and choke up damage from the Colossi? And finally, are the Colossi spread out in such a way that if it does come to Colossi v Colossi, the splash damage isn't as much? And here we go. Seeing that highlighted right now.
Time Warp goes down on YongHwa's army. Same to be set up Supers.
This positioning might be pretty good here. Well, actually, hold on. I was going to say it could be pretty good for Super, and it looks like it may, as long as he micros the Colossi right, since there are a few Immortals up there in the front. It's sometimes so hard to call PvP. Now we do have the DTs, though, doing a great job over here on Super's expansion. And look, even if YongHwa doesn't win major engagements, if he keeps on wiping out these additional bases, that's more than enough.
Yeah, certainly. And this is the big problem that he faces with, that's why the supply actually looked like it was so much more in favor for YongHwa, but he wasn't winning the fight so well, is because the army supply is actually still currently in favor of Super. He had a really nice composition, a good position in the fight, but he wasn't prepared at all to defend his 4th base because it's so far away. He didn't secure the pocket expansion to the left of his main. This base, I do not think will go down, but a few probes certainly will.
This is definitely something Super could do to try to get ahead here. And now actually Super attacking in over here to the 3rd. Don't forget about the DT harass, though, from YongHwa over there at the 2nd base of Super. And oh my God!
GG. Wow.
I almost dropped the F-bomb. He F'd it up. He screwed it up.
That was a very tense PvP. Back and forth from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
And that was like one of those moments where he's just like, I think he actually realized too late that he was still targeting the Nexus, and he was like, maybe I'll get this and recall, and it just didn't happen, and he was like, oh yeah, I gotta get out of this. I gotta get out of this game. This is just like not happening. He was behind basically for the last 1/3 of that whole game.
I think we're right about YongHwa. He does look just under the weather. I don't know if it's under the weather. Excuse me. I don't know if it's fatigue or maybe he's a little bit sick or just having a rough patch this week. But
yeah, he just doesn't look.
He just seems not doing too well.
He doesn't look like he's in a good condition right now. That's for sure.
Well, he did win that last game, so that'll bring us to game number 3 here to discover who's going to be the player to move on now out of these two and face off against Paralyzed in the winners match to be the first to get out of Group D here and move on to the GSL Code S.